Greetings, YouTube, and welcome to today's Is He Going to Call Kabam's Offer Trash or Praise Kabam's Offer video? In which, in some ways, I kind of do both, so stay tuned. So, you were looking at the Awakening Gem Crystal Cash offer that was just introduced into the game for the next 24 hours. And you can see for 1,000 units, you get half of a 4-star hero crystal shard crystal, or about a third of one of the worst 14-day daily card offers we've ever seen that was introduced into yesterday's game. It's amazing to me how, on paper at least, this offer is at least way better than yesterday's offer. I feel sorry for the noobs that bought the really terribly priced 14-day 4-star signature stone, or excuse me, not signature stone, 4-star crystal shard daily card, and then see this pop up in the game and are like, what the heck, Kabam? I would have waited for this over yesterday. You know, just when you think you can figure it out, right? They throw something at you. But anyhow, you've come here wondering if this is a good deal or not. So, a little historical perspective, if you will. Couple months back when the 6-star champions were announced in the game, quite a huge controversy. It's kind of easy to forget now because it's sort of normalized behavior in the game, but there were a lot of people who had spent so much money and time and effort on their 5-star roster that when Kabam announced there would be 6-star champions, they just flat out quit the game and burned all contact with the company because they felt completely gypped and ripped off. And I can kind of understand that perspective. But anyhow, Kabam wanted to give us something to kind of look our heads at, something shiny that was not terrible. And so they gave us for around the same price, I believe, not a class-based 4-star Awakening Gem Crystal, which is what this is, or a 1 out of 6 chance to score the class that you need. Let's say you've got that Scarlet Witch you're never, ever going to naturally duplicate in a 4-star crystal. Well, this would give you a 1 out of 6 chance to awaken her naturally. And then you get some interesting items. I appreciate that Kabam has given some generic signature stones versus some signature stone crystals for this. And 20 is a decent amount to get a lot of God tier champs up to a pretty good power when it comes to a 4-star champion. And then I do think that it's worth noting that I put these 30% greater champion boosts, which can only be found in special offers. You cannot buy them from the unit store. I probably put them about 100 to 150 units a piece. So let's just say conservatively that you value that at 100 units a piece. Well, that bumps the price down to 700 units for the crystal. And then I add half of a 4-star hero. I'd probably value that not much more than 200 units at this point. So, that bumps it down to 500. And then the signature stones, just for the sake of argument, another 150 to 200 units worth of value. So really, you're paying 500 units solely for the value of a 4-star Awakening Gem Crystal. Now, I want to go ahead and say this because people always comment on my offers of unit-based deals. I can't believe you would tell someone to buy something with cash. If you have 1,000 spare units and you have some high level of 4-stars that need to be awakened in different classes, I think this is a fine deal for you to snatch up. But if you're like me and you're transitioning away from 4-stars altogether, other than grinding in the arena and maybe on like select few cases of Alliance Quest attack, or say, obviously I still have a Stark Spidey and a Ghost Rider that are 4-stars in my lineup for synergies that I wish were 5-stars but don't have them yet, then I can understand the value of 4-stars, but still, I think this would be a very fair deal, and I would praise Kabam if this was a generic 4-star Awakening Gem and not the class-based 4-star Awakening Gem Crystal. But because that is not the world that we live in today, I cannot say that this is anything besides a little bit above average value, at least compared to the trash we saw in the game yesterday. But I do want to point out a couple of things. One, I get 1,000 units is still a lot if you don't have them. So if you have no units, don't go here and spend $50 on Black Panther's treasure just to get this. Just skip it. Don't even spend $30 if you have like 150 units and you want to add that with Tony Stark's briefcase. Don't spend cash to get this offer. Unless you've got the units, skip it altogether. But the other thing I want to point out, and I'm going to do an updated video on this based off of kind of what I think a lot of people are just casually getting in Infinity Dust, which includes myself since I really don't do dungeons. And that's about 4 million. You can see up there I have 4,100 something thousand Infinity Dust. Kind of the best value depending on where you are and in the Infinity Dust store. But I'm just going to point out, speaking of the Infinity Dust store, the best value in the entire store is the exact same 4-star Awakening Gem Crystal, and it's only 500,000 Infinity Dust, and of course that's free, right? You don't have to spend units on it, you don't have to spend cash, you just get the same thing for free. So I just want to encourage you, if you don't have the 1,000 units lying around and you really can't justify it, just get this in the Infinity Store for free. It's the best value in the store for most players by far, and it prevents you from having to cough up units or even especially cash. And so, yeah, overall, much better value than yesterday, but that's because yesterday's value was literally laugh out loud terrible. This is somewhat fair, but at the same time, for 1,000 units at this stage of the game with 5 and 6-star shards so plentiful in the game, this should be a generic Awakening Gem to really sell it. And it's class-based, which you can pick up, as you can see, for just a small amount of Infinity Dust 500,000, which you can get in a couple weeks' time, even if you're a newer player. So thanks for watching, YouTube. I hope this helps make your decision on this deal. And as always, I appreciate the support of the channel. You guys must be geologists because in my book, you rock.